What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video. Today I have a video about movements. It's movements you might know, might not know. So I wanted to make a quick tutorial on this. I want to make a lot of tutorials for the next upcoming months, kind of practice with making tutorials. So feel free to leave some feedback because I want to bring loads of tutorials out for when Battlefield 6 drops. So I was like, you know what, let's bring out some tutorials. I got a lot of questions in the chat always. How do you do this rolling? How do you slide even? How do you do the ice skating? But there's a lot of movements you might not know yet. So there will be very basic movements like sliding, but there's also going to be more advanced movements like ice skating or ice skate, lean, slide, stuff like that. But before we get into this, actually, I have to show you guys my button layout. What's important about my button layout is I have leaning on L3. I have crouching on R3, and obviously the knife is on circle then. And I have, I think, crouching R3, leaning L3. What's more important? I think those are the main ones. So if you have to probably translate some of the movements over to however your button layout is. I've those changed around. I think this is the best layout you can have if you use a basic DualShock controller like I do. So yeah. So alright, the first movement we're going to talk about is a very basic movement. Most of you guys probably know about this, but we're going from easy to the most hardest movements. So we'll start off easy with sliding. Sliding is a pretty basic move, but it's very useful to get the hang of it. Very simple how to do this. You sprint, you have to sprint. It doesn't work if you're not sprinting. And while you're sprinting, you hit the crouch button twice. You can also set it to where you hit the crouch button once. I prefer to where it hits twice. I think that's default. So what you do is you sprint, R3, R3, and you slide. Or sprint, circle, circle, whatever your crouch button is on. Or your slide sprint button is on. Most of the time it's on your crouch button, so that's what I use. It's a pretty easy movement to get down. What a lot of people actually do for a mistake is they hit the crouch button too much. So you cannot, you gotta make sure you only hit it twice. If you hit it 3 times, you're gonna end up in a crouch run, which you don't want, or you go prone after sliding. So make sure you sprint, crouch twice, hit the crouch button twice, and just keep sprinting. The second move we're going to be talking about is rolling. So it's pretty simple. What you do is when you jump off certain heights, this doesn't work from every height you jump off. When you jump from certain heights, you can take no fall damage if you do this roll movement. What you do pretty much is right before you hit the ground, when you're in midair, like right before you hit the ground, you hit the X button. If you do it wrong, if you hit it too early, you won't roll. So you have to hit it right before you hit the ground. This is actually extremely useful in case you're a harder target when you hit the ground. So when people can see you jump down, you're doing a little bit of an unpredictable move. And this allows you to take no fall damage. Very useful if you're not playing medic, like if you play assault support or recon, and if you drop in between like busy areas. What you gotta take careful, or what you gotta consider, is that if you do it too low, it doesn't work. You won't do the roll, but you also don't take fall damage. But if you do it too high, instead of rolling on the ground, you actually pull out the parachute and you will take all fall damage, as displayed right here. So again, mid-air, right before you hit the ground, you hit the jump button. I believe crouch button works as well. I'm actually not sure. I always use the jump button. But right before you hit the ground, jump button. So this move is leaning. The next move. Leaning is very useful. It keeps you cover. You can peek corners much more safely. What is important to know is that I have leaning on L3. By default, this is put on R3 or circle, I believe, depends what kind of button layout you use. You can also set leaning to separate buttons. So if you want to like lean left, you set it to a different button than when you lean right. This can be useful. But yeah, the way you trigger leaning is by, you have to be ADSing. Then you move towards the side you want to lean. So let's say I want to lean to the right. You ADS, move to the right, and then you click the L3 button or R3, whatever triggers you're leaning. That's how you lean. Very useful movement. Definitely some movement you want to be able to practice and want to pull off when it's right. So yeah. The next move is ice skating. Ice skating is a move that allows you to slide, ADS, and shoot all at the same time. Normal sliding doesn't allow this. When you ADS and shoot, you literally cancel your slide. When you ice skate, it allows you to keep on sliding while shooting and ADSing. This can be quite a tricky move to get the hang of. Also, it's hard to keep your aim steady while obviously being in the slide, so this is one to practice a lot. All you have to do here is jump. While in mid-air, you hit your crouch button. Only once, you don't have to do this twice, so it's jump, crouch, and then you remove your thumb from the move stick. If you hit the move stick, it's gonna cancel the slide, so you have to remove your thumb from the stick that you move with. In my case, this is L3 stick. So you don't have any control over where you're going to slide anymore. But if you touch the move stick just a little bit already, it cancels the slide immediately. So you can only do it right by removing your thumb from the L3 stick. The next move is kind of has to do with ice skating. It's not really a new move, but it's a little bit of a combo. It's ice skating through windows. Ice skating through windows can allow you to give a little bit of a boost. Overall, ice skating over objects makes you a very hard target to hit. You can do it over windows, you can also do it over fortifications. What's important with the ice skate here is that the moment you jump, you're trying to land on the edge of the window or the bridge or the fortification. You have to land right on top of it. While in mid-air, you hit the crouch button again, so it's literally a basic ice skate. But all you have to do is land right on the edge of whatever you want to hit. This allows you to give a little bit of a boost. You can shoot mid-air, you're a very hard target, and you boost a little bit further forward than when you normally would jump. There's also some windows where you can only fit through if you're in crouch. So it's a very useful move. It's not really a new one, but it's a good one to practice. The next move is a way to slide back to back in this game. Sliding has a cooldown in Battlefield. I think it's about 2 seconds where you cannot slide after you did your first slide. But there's actually a way to slide twice. Since ice skating is kind of a slide, it will allow you to slide twice. Simply what you have to do is you do the normal slide, so sprinting, and then hit the crouch button twice. After you're done sliding, you jump into the ice skate. It's a very efficient way to move around the map and be the most annoying target for enemies to hit. Next move is quite a simple one, but it's a good one to know. It's the basic slide, but then backwards. As you know, with sliding you can move any direction you want. You can also slide backwards in this game. So what you do is you sprint, you crouch, you hit the crouch button twice, and right when you're in the slide movement, you go backwards. I use this actually quite a lot in gunfights where I'm in the slide movement, there's the enemy right in front of me, and I slide backwards. It's a very unpredictable move, hard to track, and you can shoot them while doing it as well. So yeah, again, crouch, crouch, or you sprint, crouch, crouch, and then you go backwards. Pretty underrated move to win gunfights. Next move, when it's not necessarily a move, but it's quite useful to do, is crouch spamming. This is why I have crouching slash proning on my R3 button. This allows me to be crouching, to hit the crouch button, and while still having control over my aim. Crouch spamming, what you will be allowed to crouch spam if you have your crouch button on the R3 stick. Literally all you have to do is shoot and just spam the crap out of the R3. This will make it a little bit harder to control your recoil and your aim, but it can be quite annoying for the enemies to hit you. Also, it's useful for crouching to have it on R3 so you can hit it quick, and crouching will allow you to cover further distance as it's easier to control the recoil while you're in crouch. The next move is bunny hopping. Bunny hopping is quite a known move in Call of Duty. It works in Battlefield, but it doesn't work as well. But it's still a good move to know and to be able to do. Bunny hopping is literally jumping back to back. You use the momentum from your first jump into your second jump. It's a good way to jump around corners, be once again unpredictable. All you have to do is you sprint, then you jump, and right when you hit the ground, this takes a little bit of timing. Right when you hit the ground, you hit the jump button again. You cannot hit it too late or too early. If you hit it too late, you will lose the momentum from the first jump, and if you hit it too early, then you literally won't jump. So yeah, bunny hopping. The last move is a little bit of a combo between a lot of different moves. This is also probably one of the hardest moves you can possibly do in Battlefield. It's good when you're able to do this. I've been only trying this recently, and it's somewhat difficult to master this one because there's a lot going on and you have to do everything in the right order. It's ice skating while leaning. You can it's the basic ice skate, but you can also lean while doing this. Since I have my lean button on L3, I have to be very fast with this. I do the basic ice skate, so that's sprint, hit the crouch button, remove your thumb from the L3 stick, while being in mid-air. You all have to do this before you hit the ground. You hit the crouch button mid-air, you ADS, and you lean towards the way you want to lean, and then you have to move your thumb from the move stick again. So you have to do it very fast, all in the same movement. So again, sprint, jump, crouch, all in midair, crouch, ADS, lean towards the way you want to lean, remove your thumb from the thumbstick, and then you slide while being in lean position. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys find it useful. If you have any questions, let them know in the comments. I'll try to answer most of them. If you have any feedback, let me know as well. There's a lot more tutorials coming your way in the next couple of months. So yeah, stay tuned.